synonymous with chuck wagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:01. Good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us here on Fantasy Frenzy. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas with you here from the Sports 1440 studio as well. Josh Fenwick also keeping us on track on all of our streaming platforms, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. If you're watching there, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We appreciate that. Lots to get to on the show today. Did I mention we're brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky? Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in the Duke. Go check them out. Tell them we sent you. Maybe you're heading over there before kickoff as the Elks take on the Stampeders from Clark Stadium. Maybe you're heading out to the Riverhawks game tonight. Either way, beef jerky is going to make that better. Maybe you're golfing. Throw that in the cart. Roll through. Even if your game's not good, at least you'll be satisfied. Well, your hunger will be satisfied, and you'll be loving it. Lots to discuss today on the show, of course, as we mentioned. Elks and Stampeders. You got Riverhawks taking on Wenatchee. We've got playoffs in the NHL. Duke, I think yesterday I said Saturday night hockey. I knew it was the next day. I don't know if I thought yesterday was Friday.
We've had a bit of that around the building this week. Some people mixing up what day it is and the like, and you confessed to being guilty to it as well.
On Wednesday, I was really bad.
So now back then you were already thrown off, and that just parlayed into yesterday thinking it was already Friday, I suppose.
I was so quick to correct Mackenzie when she thought that it was Thursday on Wednesday or whatever it was.
No, I think yesterday she thought it was Friday.
Yeah.
Because she was in studio yesterday, and then you jump down her throat essentially. Be like, wow, Mackenzie, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But also guilty.
Oh, yeah, only to make myself feel better. But lots going on. Mackenzie had a very funny video today that she put out there with the help of a young intern, Chloe.
Yeah, it's a dandy. Ahead of tonight's little preseason battle of Alberta.
Positive things to say about Calgary. I think the best response was, they have a river? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, fact.
They do. And you can go check that out on all of our social media platforms. It should be a fun one tonight. It's going to be, for those in attendance, different because you're going to be so close to the action. And I think that that's really cool because a lot of times, sitting far away, it's better than it on TV, but you don't kind of see how athletic these guys are. I first noticed it when I started going down to Elks practices. You got 6'6", 300-pounders, quick feet because the slow feet don't eat. And it's just something you got to take in. So everyone going down there will have a good time. That's where I'll be this evening. Duke, you're going down to the River Valley to watch some baseball. Is there anything else going on in the city I'm missing? Anyone else we got to give love to? I think Stingers are on the road.
It's nice outside.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So that opens up an entire avenue of possibilities.
I feel like everyone I was following on Instagram last night was golfing at like 8 o'clock.
Well, not me.
You're unfortunately unable to, but even I went out and sat outside. It was just so nice. You got to take it in. I think I need a fire pit. I don't
for your backyard.
Yeah, I was looking at them. There was one that was like out in Fort Sask. I think it was a barrel for $30. Thought maybe that's a good enough one for what I would use it for.
Are you gonna chop your own wood?
No chance. No, I'd go buy it pre-cut. I guess you kind of have to chop down some of the pieces, don't you? It can't be all huge
Yeah, you
logs,
get them in bigger logs, then you got to do some splitting. So you'll need an axe all the same.
Yeah,
unless you just get a log splitter like Spec.
Well, that's what he did his cabin.
Out at Spec's deck. Yeah, he's got a log splitter. He's not swinging the axe, unfortunately.
Respect.
I actually think it's even his neighbor's log splitter.
You share. It's like a snowblower. Like you buy one and you know you're going to help people out with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You can't just justify it just for yourself. It is also Fed Up Friday, so if you've got anything you want to get off your chest today, feel free. The origin of Fed Up Friday was because we have Feel Good Friday with the Carius Show and then Positive Friday with Greg, or we want a spot in the middle where if you do have anything you want to, you just got to vent. You can do that here. 1-833-401-1440. Connor at sports1440.ca and Brandon at sports1440.ca. Duke, I don't know if I've done this one before, and it's not a major concern, but when you're driving through a construction zone and they have signs that say slow?
And you think they're talking to you?
Well, why don't they just put a number so we all know what this number is?
A limit.
Yeah.
Well, or like a construction zone. But is there not? Is that not a general in the city, like unless otherwise posted, a city road speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour.
40.
Is it?
Yeah. Drop down.
Lame. But is it the same idea for a construction zone? Like if you see a construction zone, it's automatically 30 clicks. Treat it the same as a school zone. But even in school zones, like we all know how fast a school zone or playground zone is, they still post the speed limit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
slow. Why not just have 20, 10, 30, whatever it might be? Like, we're living in 2026, and my definition of slow is probably different than all our listeners. Like, what does slow mean? What do you think slow means? 30?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that's an adequate speed.
That seems reasonable to me. But
so then if there's extenuating circumstances, like the road is completely ripped up or there's a giant hole or something, or you're going to be that close to the workers and it requires an even slower speed, then just tell me that so I know and I'm not just whomping on the brakes as all of a sudden my mirror's in danger of clipping the poor guy out just trying to do his job on the site when I'm still driving slower, but not as slowly as I need to be.
It's like
I don't know that until I'm there.
Or you're behind someone and he's going like 40 and you're like, man, the sign said slow, but to him that's slow. Or someone's going 10 and you're thinking, okay, buddy, this is ridiculous.
The gas pedal's the one on the right, buddy.
Yeah, like, come on. It's just something that I think we could easily solve here with, the production of a few signs.
As you know, Connor, the construction sites, they just simply don't have the time to put up one more sign with a number on it.
It's true.
They don't have the bodies. They don't have the time. They know they're only going to be there for half a day. So what's the point?
I wonder how many construction workers would own up to being like, yeah, man, there's a lot of standing around. Like, we're not trying to insult the profession, but it seems like when you drive through, there's a lot of people standing.
I mean, like at a lot of construction sites, and granted, this is much more prevalent out on highway construction than in the city. There's literally a job dedicated to someone holding the sign.
Mm-hmm.
I had tons of people I knew
typically
growing up that one at each end. That was their job. And they said, yeah, that is the lamest job ever. It's so boring, obviously. But, and this is just my experience, the people that I knew that did it, it was women. And you still got to have your proper PPE on. But they say, like, yeah, at a certain point, like, get a good tan going. If you can get the arms out a little bit, you're not wearing shorts or anything, obviously. But they're like, yeah, it's a pretty easy way just to get paid, just to stand there essentially for X amount of hours a day.
Yeah. Kyle says city workers, not so much construction workers. Seems like 2 to the actual job, 8 are paid to watch.
Oh, for sure.
And like that is definitely the stereotype. And I don't want to say it's accurate.
The old safety meeting, and you just everybody loops up in the shop. And like the workday starts. Technically, you punch in for let's call it 8:00. Nobody does a lick of anything until at least 8:15, maybe even 8:30, depending how long the air quote safety meeting is. You're having your coffee. Maybe someone brought in a box of donuts or something for everyone. Listen, we all know how it is. Everybody works hard at their job in some way or another. And especially when you're talking about manual laborers, construction, a lot of city workers and stuff, for sure. As you said, Connor, we're not demeaning it. But I've done that type of job before. I know firsthand how it is.
Nobody works, nobody gets hurt. Safety meeting, that's the line. MTR, we might have struck a nerve. You're just standing there cooked in the sun holding a sign. Maybe if all 8 of them got to work, the roads and other construction would be done faster than 10 years.
Nope, not allowed.
The union will not allow it. Great gig if you can get it. Kyle says I'm demeaning it. Brandon texts in, says construction worker here. If any construction worker tells you they don't stand around, it's BS. 100% they do. There's a lot of downtime. And I'm talking city and normal construction. Smoke breaks, safety breaks, 2 working, 8 watching. Hoe operators are worst for doing nothing.
I have a buddy that he's a hoe operator, and I like see him post on social media all the time. He is sitting there watching Netflix or whatever else in the hoe for the majority of his day. It's not, you get the flag or the radio, the buzz on the CB. It says, all right, yeah, over here. And if you're good at it, takes you usually not very long to take care of what you need to. You park it again until they need you again, which in a lot of time is not that frequently.
Call me when you need me.
Yeah. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. This text from Brandon is actually just really funny. The fact that, like I said, it's firsthand account as a construction worker. And some of the downtime is just you can't do anything about it. You're waiting on the next truckload of equipment to show up, whether it be materials, gravel, asphalt, whatever. Sometimes there's nothing you can do, but it is always hilarious when you're driving past and like one person's working the jackhammer or something, and the whole gaggle of people just around watching, supervising.
This guy's really good. This guy's the best. Roadhammer provides maybe a little context. When you go in a construction zone, it tells you the speed limit, whether it be 30, 50, whatever. When they're holding a slow sign, that means go a little slower because they're coming up to some equipment in a very tight area or something that is actually working. So if you're going 30 and you come up to a slow sign, go 15. But this is the thing, Roadhammer. What if someone else sees that and is like, well, I'll go 25? Like, that there's difference. People read it different ways. So I just say, get rid of that. Give us the number and I'll go that number. And I'll understand if someone's going 15 and I want to go 20. Like, okay, well, the sign said 15. Let me slow down. Sham says, here's a secret not to broadcast. Okay, we'll stop talking right there then. Thank you for putting it at the top because I would have ran right through that one. My buddy operates a loader and he goes through full TV shows in a week of work from MTR. It's funny. Some things going on in the city. We had Brian say the largest tournament in Canada, the Doc Plotsky tournament in Sherwood Park. Yeah, that's what, U9 to U18 AAA. So yeah, that's a cool one. If you're looking for something to do in city, go watch some good baseball. We also have U-Fest going on. That's the Ukrainian festival. I think Mackenzie's going to be out at that.
Yeah, with
CFCW. So if you see her, go talk to her. Ask her about the Eagles. See what she's thinking.
Go Birds.
They're called micro breaks. They're important for morale. Remember, Tom.
Like I said, you're preaching to the choir. I'm all about it. Micro breaks huge.
I worked in with a company that did like commercial furnishing for offices, and the break was the best because it would be, you'd start at 8 or whatever, and 9:30, 10 rolls around, and someone would be like, break, and then like someone say, did someone call break? And then it just like everyone's like break.
It's like break. The seagulls in Finding Nemo.
Yeah, you hear the word once, and everyone's like, all right, it's time, and you just get up and leave.
Somebody pulled the trigger. Now we're all just going to follow suit.
And someone inevitably will be like in the middle of something like, I probably shouldn't, but if everyone's going,
union mandated,
we all must go. Yeah, exactly. Together we stand. We got a question from Trev about football. We'll get to that maybe in the next segment here.
Want to give ourselves a full.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and cut it short.
Don't want to dip out of there. Bill McDonald Memorial Baseball Tourney in Spruce Grove this weekend as well from Tommy.
Oh, right. Lots going on.
Hey.
Here's one for you, Connor.
Kev Connor.
Tomorrow, Bill Hunt Arena, Junior A lacrosse, the Miners taking on the Saskatchewan SWAT.
Okay.
2:00, I believe, is when it gets going down at Bill Hunter. So great barn to watch lacrosse, Junior A, good quality. So there's one more thing. The only setback to that one, and it's being nitpicky, it's not outdoors.
That's okay. It's not supposed to be nice tomorrow, is it?
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right.
I think 40% chance of rain tomorrow.
All right, well, maybe that's the best option then all of a sudden.
If anyone has any recommendations for downtown as well, I'd like to know. Because we're going to head downtown for a brunch to celebrate the anniversary and try to stretch that out into a few hours.
Is Benny going?
Benny's going to come with us, yeah. He's got to get used to being in the public eye, so get him out there for that one. It was my anniversary on Wednesday. We didn't bring it up, but I also want to say congratulations to you, Duke. That's your anniversary of working in sports media professionally.
Yes, I wasn't
100%.
Don't you have to be paid to be a professional?
Oh, you didn't get paid?
That was part of my practicum. It was like a tangent thing. I was like with the nation, and then it was like, oh, and when Gregor needs you, you'll go do that, which was filling in for you in the days leading up to your matrimony.
I thought you got paid for that. Anyways,
so I was just there for the experience.
it was your anniversary of AM Sports Radio Talk.
Fact.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay. First round, they got World Cup menu. Triple C in a truck. You talking tomorrow, Triple C? MTR says tomorrow is nice, Sunday stinks. Okay, well, one of those days stinks. You know what another problem I have is, Duke? I'm going to the Elks game tonight. I don't think I have media parking. I don't know where to park.
You don't know what to do. You've been
Last time
spoiled.
I parked, I got a ticket. I thought I was good, and I got a ticket. So also, if there's any fans that might have a parking recommendation for me, a secret sweet spot,
And we won't dox it, so
Yeah.
that'll be just for Connor.
you'll just see me roll up, and that'll be the only one who gets into that spot. I'm not opposed to walking. Usually, I have to walk like through Little Italy back when I had my season seats, but we never got a ticket there. And the first time I parked in that vicinity this time, I got a ticket. Like $100. I'm just trying to support the team. And I'm getting
banged.
Yeah, not ideal.
Not in the best way.
No, not the worst way, probably. Hop in with Eddie. Apparently he doesn't walk either.
Well,
what does Eddie do?
Well, Eddie says he's not going to the game unless he can get a parking pass via, I think, his, alumni status with the team. So if he comes through, then you can just text him and be like, hey, mind if I just ride along?
Yeah.
Or alternatively, you say, hey, Eddie, I'll drive. We'll find a spot. You can hop in with me. Also an option.
Does Eddie live on the West End?
No, but maybe he'll meet you somewhere. Like, that's what we did a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, we parked at like Nate or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm into whatever it takes. I'm going to go to the game. I'll walk as far as I have to. It's a beautiful day, but there's just some areas I'd rather not walk through, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What if I reached out to the Green and Gold?
I think they'll tell you to kick rocks.
As a team employee, hosted
True.
their watch parties.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe I should get something.
Like, you tell them, hey, I'll pass on the complimentary merch this year, a sweater or a hat or something, and instead, can I just get a parking pass for this one game?
They already asked my jacket size.
Oh, too late then.
Maybe
you blew it.
It'll be like Simpsons. You get this spot, but here's a pair of rollerblades. No, you can get there in no time. Just crush it. Rockford says, this Fed Up Friday sounds a lot like Festivus.
Yeah, it's just the air your grievances.
Yeah,
whatever's grinding your gears, we'll hear it.
I'd like to hear other ones. Like it can be as small or as big as possible. Just little things that might fire you up. You can let us know. 1-833-401-1440. We'll take a break though. When we come back, more texts. We'll also talk about this question from Trev relating to fantasy football, I do believe, and more. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for two. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Style and Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Ride for Dad is back. Join Sports 1440 as we help raise funds and awareness for the fight against prostate cancer. The ride starts Saturday, June 13th at Blackjack's Roadhouse. Register online at ridefordad.ca and find more info at sports1440.com. For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:23. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here. Sports 1440 Studios in West Edmonton Mall. It's hot outside, but it's nice and cool in here, which is kind of nice. We've become soft as a society with the air conditioning. This segment brought to you by Elks Nation. 2 weekly podcasts, of course, with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold. Or, you go to elksnation.ca, read the articles and more. Lots of articles. And giveaways. Go check it out. elksnation.ca. We'll dive into the inbox here. Look at some of the text rolling in.
Connor, do you want to know how soft we've become?
Yeah.
And this
tell me.
This is a Fed Up Friday that I'm fed up with myself. I never had air conditioning in the house I lived in my entire life. Out on the farm, you just sweat it out, hot night, and you get in from a hard day's work out in the field and the track. Half the tractors didn't even have air conditioning. They're supposed to. They're broken, or needed a fresh charge. Whatever the case, give myself heat stroke in the cab, just cooking in there. It has been warm for 1 week in my apartment, and it's a north-facing room, so the sun does not come directly in. But I've gotten home each day of the past couple nights this week in the middle of the afternoon and say, this simply won't do. And I have figured out which little portable air conditioner unit I'm going to buy from our friends down at the Brick. So I've got a gift card, so that'll help put a dent in the cost of it. And it's just going to be a little thing that I plug in. It sits in the corner, can control it from my phone, all these things. It took 1 week of this. It hadn't been a problem previously because I was living in a basement suite before, right? So it was always cool in there, which was nice. But a man's got to be above ground at a certain point, and that comes with a trade-off, I guess. And I'm living it.
Good line. Side note: Waz had one of the funniest lines in the Oilers Nation video when he was touring the facility. I think it was about like Michael Menzies. He's like, "Oh, a healthy 18-year-old man." It was so funny.
that was a good one by Waz. The whole video was pretty funny.
Just like you, eventually a man's got to be above ground. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I've gotten soft. We actually, I should say this, in the condo we previously had, the AC unit did not work. So like people would open like a hallway worked. So people would open up their hallway doors just to try to get some cool air in. And now that we moved into our house, the AC was a must. When we were looking for our house, Ashley was pregnant. So it was like, she needs the AC. Can't be overheating in the summer. I'm with you. Like, it's like lip chap or something. Once you get it, you're addicted. You just need
can't
it.
go back. And that's the thing. So as I said at the farm, never had AC. This was once I had moved out, and I think it would have been in one of my years of university. I like come home at one point in the summer, and there's just this like window installed unit in the living room. And I guess my dad just at a certain point was like, "No, I've had enough. There's no more kids in here to breathe in the cold air. It's all for myself." And so yeah, we each spring. My mom, when it's someone the way, is like, "Hey, you need to go get the AC unit out of the shed, bring it in, carry it up the deck, and get it put in, and then vice versa in the fall. Got to get this window sealed back up. It's minus 40."
Yeah, you got to make that change at some point, hey?
Yeah.
Pod says, "I'm fed up with golf courses not allowing private carts on their courses." This is something that I cannot relate to.
Well, it must be a city thing because I know in Delburn, just as my most prevalent example, Fawn Meadows is right on the edge of town, and it's on the north or the east side, of the tracks, where there's kind of like the newer development of Delburn, a bunch of this whole newer houses and everything. And I had several people that just drive their car. Now, a lot of places will still charge you I think they call it a trail fee. It's less than renting a cart, but you still have to pay to drive your cart on the course, essentially. And you can buy like a season pass for it. So if you're going to be there that often that you're using your own cart, you can kind of get it done in one fell swoop. My point here being, I was not aware that at other courses, they straight up say, no, you're not allowed to bring your carts on the course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if you're touring around, are you just like towing it behind your vehicle all the time and anywhere you're stopping at golf? All right, yeah, my cart's here. I think it would only really work if you like live on a golf course or so close to one that you could drive the cart there which is the case in Delburn, drive it there, park it there. Some places you pay, like you rent a spot and it's just parked there for you all the time. Yeah, I wasn't aware that there are courses that straight up just say no.
They want you to spend.
Well, of course.
That's how they make their money. I guess I get it, but if you have your own cart, like, I don't know. My in-laws have their own cart. It's pretty cool. MTR says, "Have fun waking up with the sniffles, boys. The real men will sweat it out and complain about it."
Well, I complain about enough things. I don't need to add this to the list.
Similarly to you growing up, we did not have AC, and my bedroom was west facing. So
at night?
That night, and like, think like when I was like 18, 19 and like going out to the bar on a Saturday night, getting home and then just being like the worst.
You open the door to your room and it's just like entering a sauna.
Yeah. And then, you wake up feeling great because you sweat it all out. It's like,
that's a good point.
It was tough.
And here's what I will say, and this is easy for me to say now because I haven't gotten it yet. I do envision myself as like almost the stingy dad about like, hey, what's the AC doing on? I'm the only one that lives there. I'm the one controlling it. But it's going to be like, I turn it on when I get home just enough to cool the place down and then turn it off again. I don't need that electric bill running up.
No.
And sometimes it is nice to get a good sweat in while you're sleeping.
Yeah. I mean, and then you don't wake up with the sniffles like MTR said.
I guess, but
that was
just one more thing that I could keep in the arsenal for Fed Up Fridays.
Yeah. Don't you guys hate when you wake up with the sniffles? That would be probably not the best one. We got the text in from Trev, and the question was, this is more specific than usual. Which second-year receiver is in line to command a 20% target share in a high-octane passing offense?
Wow, that is specific.
Yes. And, geez, I mean, I guess we don't necessarily know which team will be considered a high-octane offense or necessarily, how the usage will be. So the first thing we have to do is break this down into
second-year receivers.
Second-year receivers.
Who are some of the standout first-year receivers
last year?
Right.
Well, the first one that comes to mind for me personally would be Teteroa McMillan. He selected very high overall, produced. You've got Emeka Egbuka. He would be a target. Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins, Luther Burden, Trey Harris, Jack Beck, Kyle Williams. Let's stop there. And then you have to say, which of these teams would you have as a high-octane passing offense? The Panthers? Maybe.
It's possible.
The Buccaneers? Well, Baker likes to sling it. Packers? Well, they might be down a running back.
And a new opportunity at receiver due to others departing.
Yeah. Houston Texans, what do you think? Is that a pass-first offense?
Could be. And I think I guess the addition of David Montgomery might balance them a little bit, but they did not bring back Christian Kirk and Tank Dell. They're playing it pretty slow with his return from injury. So it kind of is like, as of right now, Jaden Higgins is a pretty clear-cut WR2 behind Nico Collins.
Luther Burden with the Bears? DJ Moore's gone.
A lot of mouths to feed there. to get like, to be the super specific nature of Trev's question, what do you say, 20% target share?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a high-octane offense. Of that, I'm sure, in Chicago with Ben Johnson at the helm. But when you talk about Roman Dunze, who had kind of taken over WR1 last year, even from
down
Moore.
the stretch, he was good.
Yeah, Colson Loveland was really good down the stretch. Second half of the season, really. Had a little bit of a slower start. DeAndre Swift is very active catching the ball out of the backfield. You still got like Cole Kmet in the mix. They use him more in blocking now, but still. And then you add Burden in too. Yeah, I'm high on Burden. He's a really dynamic player, but he might be hard pressed to get a real commanding share unless he like bursts off and they have no choice but to go to him more regularly, which is very possible.
So then we get to Trey Harris with the Chargers. Mike McDaniel passing offense. I love Trey Harris. Like, he blocked his way onto the field. That's how he got playing time, was blocking.
Block for rock.
And then he was like over the shoulder. His tracking ability was phenomenal. He made some big catches, but I don't know if it's 20% because you got Ladd McConkey, Rondé Gadsden, David Njoku's there as well now. Jack Beck with the Raiders. I mean, I like
that was
him.
The guy that when we talk to Raider people, they're always very high on with what he showed in very limited time.
Yeah. I mean, his numbers weren't big. He had 20 receptions for 200 yards. He didn't do a lot at TCU till his senior year. Then he went for 1,000 yards, 9 scores. He got 5 starts. He appeared in 16 games last year. I wouldn't be crazy high on him.
Maybe he's Mendoza's guy.
But maybe he is. I mean, Bowers should be his guy, but maybe it goes the other way. How about DK with the Titans? He kind of had a good season. A little under the radar. Maybe in year 2 he pops off. He was selected 33 picks ahead of Elick Ayomanor, the Canadian from Medicine Hat. I don't know. To me, I think Matthew Golden, Teteroa McMillan, and Emeka Egbuka would be your best bets.
Yeah,
the first round picks.
Egbuka for sure. I'm pretty heady on him. Now in the post Mike Evans era of Bucks football.
It is funny that MTR had Burden, Kyle had Egbuka. MTR says Golden doesn't understand how to run a route.
It did seem to plague him a little bit, but I think that's something you can improve on, right? Like, you can't teach speed.
Mm-hmm.
You can improve it by a little bit, but I think route running is a more teachable element of a receiver's game. I will throw, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be in the same level of dynamicism as, say, the Packers or the Bucks in terms of throwing the football, but I do think Jaden Higgins is in line for a pretty good year in Houston.
Yes.
And that might be one that doesn't garner the same type of recognition as, say, the McMillans, like all the first round guys that we kind of ran down there, right?
Bit of a sleeper, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
And I will say, you talk about, he's not going to be Devontae Adams or Keenan Allen, right? He's not going to come in here as this elite route runner, but now there's drags, there's screens, there's go routes, there's things you can run pretty simply.
Just go route every time. 4 verts.
Bark Boy Ash. I have to change your name to Playboy Ash. Ricky Pearsall. Now, he's not a second-year receiver per se, third year. But when you think about it, well, Mike Evans is there now too. We'll maybe like to see what MTR thinks about Ricky Pearsall. MTR, you've got Kittle, obviously. You're going to have Mike Evans. Can't stay on the field, he says. Yeah, that's kind of the knock on him. I mean, the first year he was shot. Eventually did get into 11 games, started 4. Last year started 9 that he played in, had 500 yards. So he prorated that. That's just under 1,000. Good player, though, when he's out there, but got to stay healthy. That is the best ability. 1-833-401-1440. And they drafted another receiver, top of round 2 this year. That's true. But Twitter told me that was a terrible pick, MTR. So maybe it won't even matter. Some news and notes just kind of from around the sporting world. In case you missed it, Evan Bouchard took that big hit yesterday at the World Championships. He is out for the remainder of the tournament. Even if that is precautionary, it's the right decision because why would you do that? Also, Kelly McCrimmon yesterday was on TSN out in Toronto, said that the Cassidy news was only news because Edmonton leaked it. I'm not fed up about it. This is great content. It makes no sense for Edmonton to leak it because they still hadn't officially parted ways with their current head coach. If Edmonton wanted to talk to Bruce Cassidy, it would have been on the down low. It had to be the agent, Duke. Like, I will not be convinced otherwise. He was probably frustrated his client wasn't being given permission, so he did it. If Vegas were to leak it, they look petty. Sure, Edmonton would look worse, but they would look petty too. The Oilers leaking it makes no sense. I think it had to be the agent. Is there any other answer?
We talked about it quite a bit on the morning show today, and Carius kind of came at it with this approach that if you're trying to, let's just take Kelly McCrimmon at his word that this is true. How do you reverse engineer it to make sense, right? And Carius kind of came up with it, and he says, the Oilers thought that by leaking it, it would put pressure on Vegas to release him, cut him loose. But it blows up in their face in such a spectacular fashion because of the fact they still employed Chris Knobloch. It was either the worst thought out idea of trying to leak it on your side of things. But I'm with you. I do think it does seem like from Cassidy's camp probably makes the most sense. But unfortunately, we'll probably never really know the full story. I would think.
If you were the Oilers and you leaked it, you would have to say, it's going to be put out there that we still haven't let our head coach go, and we're going to look bad for it.
Yeah.
Can we own that?
We're going to have to wear this on the chin, but it'll be worth it because they'll cut Cassidy loose due to external pressure from the backlash, and we'll get our guy. So now it's double full because you still take it on the chin for looking bad, getting a new coach when you still have one. Oh, and by the way, you didn't get that coach because Vegas, they McCrimmon just didn't fold.
Yeah.
Right? And this is an analogy Kevin and Eddie used about holding your cards at the table. Yeah, they showed theirs, but you held them. You didn't fold.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the McCrimmon case. And I know there's not a lot of love for the Vegas Golden Knights and particularly Kelly McCrimmon right now from Oilers Nation and the fan base. But if we're just looking at it with, straight shooter lens, kind of give him a little bit of credit for that. He's like, yeah, F you guys.
I kind of told my buddy, part of me is just grow up. But the other half is well, you're sticking to your word.
Yeah, lean into it. Everyone hates you already, and everybody complains about what you do, whether it's, cap circumvention in previous years with LTIR money and this and that, going all the way back to the way that McPhee and company hoodwinked the league. And nobody thought that Vegas roster was good. But it seems like they knew what they were doing in the way they assembled their talent, and a lot of overachieving that first year, no doubt. But guess what? It wasn't a one-year flash in the pan. 8 out of 9 years in the playoffs, 3rd Stanley Cup final. And by the way, they've already got a championship banner hanging in the rafters of the T-Mobile Center.
I just wanted to make sure I was getting it right. So I just Googled NHL Coaches Union. It's the association, of course. The suggested search that came up after that is the number 69 banned in the NHL? Not sure what that has to do with anything, but it's not officially banned for those wondering. I do wonder, though, just the reason I was looking it up, I'm wondering the NHL Coaches Association going forward, in this situation, if they have a guy sign a contract, is there that clause? If my guy is relieved of his duties, he is free to find a new team. Will they try to put in some sort of clause in the future to prevent this from happening? Because, it's not good for the other teams. It's not good for the coach. Your association is going to want to do right by you, a coach. And I'm thinking there's got to be some sort of change. Something might come from this. And then do you get to a point where a team's no, we're not budging on that. And then there's just it doesn't happen. Imitation Tom says, I don't think it was the Oilers. I think there's a mole. I think it was his agent. Simply. Team Dean says Cassidy needs to do a podcast tour airing all the dirty secrets from caps for preventing to how to coach against them. Oh, now you're talking. That'd be interesting. Lou says no chance the Oilers would leak it while employing Knobloch. No chance. I'm with you. Like it makes them look too bad, in my humble opinion. We'll take a break. When we come back, more text 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
In Alberta, every family has a baseball game day tradition for the summer.
We always bring our gloves to the ballpark.
We always keep score.
We always bring Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Some things change, but the best home run snack never does.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Whether you're watching from your recliner or the stands, make it a part of your summer ball game tradition.
Wilhock Beef Jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Hi, it's Jason McCoy. You know, music's given me a lot of great moments, but nothing means more than time with my dad. When he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a simple PSA blood test was key in detecting it early, and we got more years, more laughs, and more memories. Guys, it's a quick test that just might end up saving your life.
Join the Princess Auto Motorcycle Ride for Dad in Edmonton, Saturday, June 13th. Register or donate at ridefordad.ca. Any project, big or small, when you need metal cut to your exact measurements fast, count on Metal Supermarkets, a warehouse bursting at the seams with inventory, plus metal bending, drilling, punching, notching, plasma cutting, welding, even delivery. Endless possibilities. Now imagine what they can do for you.
How about a garage shelf?
Think bigger, my friend.
2 garage shelves?
There you go.
I live on the edge.
The local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas.
This is Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:45. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here. Brought to you by Wilhawk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online, willhawkbeefjerky.com. Coming up next, you got the Lowdown with Low Tide with LT and Declan Kruger from noon till 2. They'll be joined by Steve Lansky and John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. Fenwick will be there too. He's heavily involved in that show. 1/3 of it. In fact, then from 2 to 6, it is the Jason Gregor show. Gregor, myself, Paulson will be there as well. We'll have our co-host Wanye Gretz in from 3 till 6. Victor Finley's going to join us, the Canadians play-by-play. Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. Craig Button from the NHL on TSN. We've got Spec. We've got Low Tide. And hopefully more. Hopefully someone to talk some CFL football, as well as the local baseball team, the Riverhawks, in action tonight taking on Wenatchee. Just trying to get an email back. But make sure you keep it locked here on Sports 1440. And then Jay's Baseball will join it in progress at 6 o'clock on our AM feed only, not on the stream online. That'll be Fox Sports Radio. Not Fred says the coaches need to form a union instead of an association so that they have someone looking after their best interest and they don't have donkeys like Kelly McCrimmon thinking he can be the end. I'll be all and hold Cassidy back. Oh, that might be the end all be all with a period in there for some reason, just to screw other teams. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like it. And I know there's the report that came out about this isn't the first time that a coach has been held back from the organization trying to speak with the Oilers. And you kind of get it. You know, you don't want to help a team. We see it all the time where, we hear you're not going to trade in your division or even your conference for that matter. You'll send them as far away as possible. But it's different because you're not releasing a player and then saying, oh, you can't go there. It's a weird thing. I guess that's why they're not fired. They're just stripped of their duties. MTR says, you guys got Karius on today? No. Not till he makes amends for what he did to us earlier on in the week. I will give him credit for taking a run. Good to stay healthy. Maybe when he brings us his platter of food that he promised, we'll drop the charges. But no, not Karius today. It's always a bad feeling, missing a hit. Back in the day for the round table, I slept in once. Another time my car wouldn't start. You never feel good about it. So try not to be too hard on him. But there has to be some sort of punishment. Duke, you've never missed a hit, hey?
Yeah, all the ones I've been asked to do. I'm 2 for 2 on hits on the pregame show here on Sports 1440. And other than that, I don't think I've done any. Camrose Radio.
Oh, yeah.
With Scotty Mitchell filling in for you at a couple different times. Kevin went away, so I've always been there for Scott's call. And then ditto for when we were doing Sports on Sports down the hallway at K97. Also filling in for Karius. I was perfect attendance there as well.
The funny thing is when you, Canadian teams go on a bit of a run, and then all of a sudden, I think, some sports stations from the States will just get kind of, desperate. One time I got a request to come on a show. Where was it? I don't even know where it was. It might have been in Nevada, and to talk Raptors. So I went on and talked Raptors with them. Not my specialty.
And
but
you're just like, hey, I know ball.
I was like, sure, we can do that. I'm a fan of the team. And it was funny because I did so much prep for it because I wanted to have all my numbers and everything ready. It was like the Lowry DeRozan era. And they barely talked Raptors with me. So it was like,
what'd you talk about?
Random stuff. We got the Blue Jays.
Oh, it was just fun. Just a little potpourri.
Yeah. It was just going all over the place. Duke is a professional. Kevin isn't from MTR. Triple T says Declan is the all-star of missing hits.
Yeah, he earned a pretty good reputation. That was in the early going, though. He had a pretty good go since then when he missed the first, I want to say 3 of 4. Not answering, sleeping in, whatever the case. Listen, there's a number of things that can happen to a person, but yeah, it was not a good start for Deck in terms of coming on to talk any number of topics, Elks, basketball, football with Karius in the morning.
He's changed now.
Declan's a self-admitted not a morning guy.
Well, now that he does Elks Nation, I think he's changing.
He's changed a little for sure.
He's learning things. 1-833-401-1440. That is the text line. Just scrolling through the headlines or NFL. Jailed Rice learning life lesson right now, says Andy Reid.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's the point of prison, right? To come out reformed.
Is he in prison right now? Oh, he's been since last week. Okay. And then what happened to him earlier on?
Didn't he violate his parole or something? So then he got an extra 30 days in prison? And I believe the question I asked of you, Connor, was, can he just like serve both at the same time? And by that, I mean, in facetiously, like just serve 2 different 30-day sentences in the same 30 days. I don't think that's how it works.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not very familiar with the system, admittedly. I gave up on my aspirations of being a criminal lawyer pretty early. Look at me now.
After you tried to get your client to serve 2 sentences at the same time.
I was like, hey, have we explored this option? And they're like, get out of here.
So remember like when Nick Saban, I believe, Nick Saban at Alabama, and he was asked about like troubled players that do things and why he didn't kick them off the team. And he said, like, what do you want me to do? Like give up on a 19-year-old kid? Like I want to help them develop and grow and like learn from this rather than kick them off the one thing that
they have going for them.
That they're
right
really
now,
going,
right?
yeah, like a good football player. Like let's learn from these mistakes as long as it's not too major. At what point did if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, are you like, man, you're a heck of a football player. We know that, but do you ever just need that culture out of the room? I don't know.
A little bit of real life lessons learned as opposed to just football life lessons.
Yeah. Like there's going to be consequences.
The reality is, and this is the case for a lot of people that go on to become professional athletes. Now, a lot of them come from troubled beginnings, broken homes, whatever the case. But at a certain point, when you're usually playing at a D1 program, Alabama, Georgia, run down the list, like everything is pretty much taken care of for you. Everything from your food to your transportation, obviously your schooling and all that jazz.
Especially now.
Oh, for sure
NIL.
now. And so then all of a sudden you kind of like, I'm not going to say forget if you did have a more humble upbringing, but you just get accustomed to that as an adult. And so you almost have no real understanding of what life is like outside of football. Right. And it's even worse for people that maybe like that's all they've known since they were 7 years old. And, in an academy and then on to playing this level of ball and traveling around. And this isn't just exclusive to football, granted, right? This can be applied to really any professional sport. But yeah, and so all of a sudden now you're an adult in your mid-20s, let's just say, if you're a couple of years out of college, and football has not worked out, or in the case of Rashee Rice, you've made some decisions that have caused you to need to, address it. And in Rashee Rice's case, I think he's very fortunate still being allowed to play football, right? So your point's well taken, Connor. It's like, hey, there's the real world that goes on outside of just your bubble of being a professional football player. Not everyone gets quite the same leniency sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, and it goes back. Like, there was assault charges. He punched a cameraman. There was the car crash, obviously, which was very dangerous. Now, the one that got him in jail was a positive weed test.
Most recently.
Yeah, that got him like the 30 days because it's his probation, which by itself, I wouldn't care. But it's like, man, you're on probation for all these things. Like your professional career could be on the line here. And you smoke weed when you're not supposed to. I don't know. They did cut Kareem Hunt after that video surfaced.
Mm-hmm.
Even the charges were dropped there. But
and yeah, I mean, he's on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Yeah.
But he was cut in at that time.
MTR says a lot of the big schools treat their athletes better than some NFL teams. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like at this point, there's
yeah, the Bengals.
There's no reason to leave college early for a lot of those guys. Like play your junior redshirt year, your senior year, because you're making NIL money. You're getting taken care of. The facilities are world class these days. Oh well. I don't know where we were really going with that one. Just saw Rashee Rice. And
I think it started with, I was reading headlines and Andy Reid says Rashee Rice is learning lessons in prison.
He's
I bet he is.
Could have been learned the last couple of years here. Anywho, Up next, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide, followed by the Jason Gregor Show. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Enjoy the heat. Enjoy the weekend. Have some water. Stay hydrated. And we'll talk to you guys on Monday at 11. Right now, let's get to a Sports 1440 update with the Duke. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc.
The Sports 1440 update.
NHL's Eastern Conference Final game number 5 tonight from Raleigh, North Carolina. The Hurricanes look to punch their ticket through the Cup final for the first time since 2006, leading the Habs 3-1 in the best-of-7. Puck drop scheduled for just after 6 o'clock. At the Memorial Cup out in Kelowna, Everett taking on Chicoutimi in a semifinal Friday. Winner chances to take on Kitchener in Sunday's championship game. And the third and final preseason week of the CFL season gets underway tonight. The Edmonton Elks are at home taking on the Stampeders from Clark Stadium. Kickoff scheduled for 7 o'clock. Elsewhere, Hamilton in Toronto, Ottawa taking on Montreal, and BC plays Winnipeg. Full slate of games in the majors, including the Blue Jays. Game 2 of 4 in Baltimore against the Orioles. Local product, Adam Macko, going to make his debut as a starter in what's a bullpen day for the Jays. Trevor Rogers will counter for the O's. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. Catch that game right here on Sports 1440. Join in progress at the conclusion of the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Boston is in Cleveland. The Mets host the Marlins. Yankees take on the Athletics. Seattle hosting Arizona. And the Dodgers take on the Phillies in the nightcap. Local baseball also on the docket as the Edmonton Riverhawks get their season underway from Remax Field, taking on the Wenatchee Apple Sox. First pitch, 7:05. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports